I remember being in my GSA one day, and we had a meeting, and our GSA president, Maddie, was telling us about this radio thing she did, and it seemed really interesting, and she was just trying to get people to join it. And then she like singled me out like after the meeting and told me that she wanted me to come, and her boyfriend George also told me she wanted me to come. So I was just like, okay, why not?
This is OutCasting, public broadcasting's youth-run radio show dealing with LGBTQ struggles, triumphs, lifestyles, and supreme strike-downs, where you don't have to be queer to be here.
I just wanted to help spread awareness and just do anything I could to raise awareness for these issues and give people information.
So my friend Josh basically just told me that he and my boyfriend Chris worked on this show, OutCasting, and they told me all about it, and they thought that I would be a good addition to it. So they brought me one day, and I just loved it, and I decided to keep on coming.
I learned a lot of things here. I've learned how to really communicate with people, interact, read articles and gather information. I've also learned how to edit a lot of different editing techniques and stuff like that. Editing is my favorite thing to do. I eventually want to go to college and do editing or do something with it in my life. I also like making the episodes and coming up with ideas, and I also feel like I'm a part of the LGBT community when I'm here, and I actually have some say of what's happening in the world here.
I think my favorite part of working on OutCasting is really just seeing the process. We'll all just be sitting around throwing out random ideas and some very silly ones, and then eventually we'll come up with a really good idea, and then we just brainstorm where we could go with it, and we talk about who we could interview, and we start doing interviews, and we start writing a script, and then we start recording tracks and editing, and it just becomes this huge, great production, and it's something to really be proud of in the end, especially because it's promoting such a great message and promoting human rights, which is something that everyone should have.
The most important thing I learned from OutCasting, I think it would be how to be a good journalist and how to research things thoroughly and how to check all your facts. I think editing is fun and I like meeting new people.
When I talk to people in school, a lot of them, they really don't know about things like DOMA, the Defense of Marriage Act, and when people bring up the conversation of LGBT rights, so many of them are so uneducated about it, and then all of a sudden I'm spurting out all this knowledge, and I feel like I'm really helping educate others with the education that I'm getting from OutCasting.
Working on OutCasting, it keeps me informed on LGBT issues, and it helps me inform other people. I feel that they're important for everyone, not just people who fall under the LGBT category, because it's a human rights issue and we have to support all of people.
It basically changed my life. I love being here. Everyone has their own way of putting their own thing into the community, whether it be art or radio or writing, and this is my way of giving back to the community.
OutCasting has really helped me with my communication skills. Before I joined OutCasting, I couldn't make a phone call. On our first interview, I was terrified and didn't say a word. And then on our last interview, I was asking almost all of the questions, and I can usually make business phone calls without too much anxiety. And I'm just able to communicate with people, with adults and peers alike, in such a different way, and I'm able to conduct myself in a much more professional way, and that's really been able to help me in my life as a whole.
And since this program has a national audience, I feel like my word is getting spread out, our word is getting spread out everywhere basically, and hopefully it will be worldwide, and we might change a lot of lives.
I think that's cool because someone can hear that and it can start a conversation about whatever issue we're discussing, and just getting more people to talk about Getting more people to talk about these issues, I think it's important to make a positive change.
We're all fighting for the fact that everyone is a person and every person should be treated equally because every person is created equally. And we're taking that from a legal perspective, from a social perspective, and really from just every perspective we can. We're trying to just prove that equality is the right thing and explain to people that a gay person is still a person and a trans person is still a person. And that's really something that I think everyone in the world needs to understand.